Come on, Rowdy. Hop up. Come on, buddy. Come on, go. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us today. My name is JJ, the Vinyl Scally. This is Rowdy, my dog. Rowdy is half Jack Russell Terrier and half miniature poodle. All rowdy, all the time, that's for sure. On this show, we review vinyl. We geek out about the vinyl, the music, the making of the music, the artists. We like to have fun, silly times, always. Hopefully you'll join us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button too, so every time we release a new video, you'll be in the loop. Look forward to seeing you around. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us today. This is another episode of the Vinyl Scally Show. Today I'm joining Eric. He's the owner of Revolver Records. This is a legendary record store in Pensacola. Y'all just have no idea this guy.
It's true.
It is true. It is true. So first off, if you would introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your vinyl record journey up until now.
Ooh, I'll try to make it concise. My name is Eric. I work in a record store. I've worked in several for 37 and a half years. I had a really terrible corporate job in Tallahassee.
They're out there.
I quit. They're out there. I got fed up, like that old country song, "Take this job and shove it."
Sure.
Johnny Paycheck.
Love it.
Young kids on YouTube are not going to like, who's this Johnny Paycheck guy? So I quit. I moved back to Pensacola. It was a killer record store. I got a job there. I had been a long-time client. And that was when I was 25, and that's when I started, and I haven't looked back, and that was 1987. I've been downtown. I used to have a shop right down the street here on 12th Avenue. We all owned vinyl records as a kid because that's pretty much all there was, you know, outside of 8-track tapes or cassettes. I've been buying and selling, and even back then we would trade records, like you trade baseball cards.
Right.
So I guess I've been a merchant in vinyl records even since the 60s, 70s, as a little kid. So
cool.
It beats digging ditches. It's what I hope
So
to do for the rest of my
It beats
life.
being on the end of a shovel, right?
Yes. So
Okay, so
that's what I do.
you've kind of touched on what my next question was. So what makes vinyl records special to you, Eric?
I'll be honest with you. I like holding them.
Right?
Tactile, I think is the fancy word.
Love it.
I like how big they are. I like the sound they make, obviously. I do listen to a lot of CDs, so I'm not like a vinyl snob. And I do collect records. Some of the ones, I've got records in my stash that I still haven't opened, and maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'll open one day. I can always open them one day.
Now there's something to be said for either way, opening or not opening.
And of
right?
course, yeah, that's true. We can go into that sometime. Just since I was a kid, I liked having them. I like holding them. It's a work of art. It's a work of art, and
it is.
I've always liked real things over experiences. I like experiences, things you can't touch, like a trip, a vacation, a nice dinner. Those are great, and there's a lot to be said for that. But I've enjoyed spending my money on things that I can enjoy every day for the rest of my life.
Over and over, right.
And if I want to get rid of it, I can get rid of it and get my money back, or maybe even more.
Sure. Retain its value, grows,
and make a profit off it, which is what I do daily. So
right.
I love the fact that records are both left brain and right brain. They're sentimental, they're artistic, they're musical, obviously, but also a ways of making money and feeding yourself every day.
Right.
I love records. You can't,
So you found a way to turn your passion into your career, and that's like everybody's dream, right? That's what they say. If you can find what you're passionate about, you make money off of it, and you'll never work a day in your life.
I'm very grateful, and that's true.
I've seen some of your videos, and it looks like you're riding your bike to work. It looks like you're coming down the road right up there, and I'm like, wow, check him out.
Well, unfortunately, I only live about 3 miles, which is, it takes me like 20 minutes. So,
well, that's good exercise.
It's a nice chance to clear my head and get some exercise and, use a green method of transportation.
Sure.
And I do own a truck, and I've hauled many records.
I'll bet.
With that truck. But yeah, I love bikes.
Awesome. Cool. So, which album made the biggest impact on you? I know that's a big question.
I would say that it is. And tomorrow.
And do you have a copy here?
I don't, which is why I have this. This is the closest thing I have.
Okay.
Made a big impact on someone else because they bought it Saturday, and
awesome.
I'm waiting for it to come back in. It's Nirvana's Nevermind.
Nevermind. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Love it.
I'm a little bit older, so I'm more of a 80s rock guy than a 90s rock guy, but I really respect the breakthrough that the grunge movement made, especially this guy and his band Nirvana did with Nevermind. I was working at TK 101 as a weekend disc jockey when Nevermind came out.
Okay.
And I saw what a big impact it had.
I probably heard you, because I was local.
I was there for 7 years in the 90s,
awesome.
From 90 to 97 I was there. And so before, I started maybe a year before this came out. And before this came out, I'll be honest, a lot of the music we played was stale. And had been rehashed and played over and over again. And then when this came out, we started playing these new bands called Smashing Pumpkins and Alice in Chains and Soundgarden, and
right up my alley.
And played a lot of fresh, new, hungry young bands, Weezer, etc. That I thought deserved more exposure. And these bands are famous now, but in 1990, 91, they were still young and hungry and new bands that needed and deserved exposure, be it MTV or or on radio, which is what I did with TK. And this band is what really busted open the dam, and I think forced a lot of radio stations like TK to turn away from Nugent and Molly Hatchet and Eric Clapton. Nothing wrong with those bands, but it was just those bands over and over and over again, and and started playing that, and
got some new blood in,
some fresh blood. It was like a transfusion. So I love that record, and I respect this band, and of course it's sad tragedy what happened to that band and this guy. But that would, more so than anything else, be it Let It Bleed or Velvet Underground and Nico or Abbey Road, Nirvana Nevermind to me is a landmark record on many levels.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Sure.
That's awesome. I love picking your brain. So, next one, what artist or musician made the biggest impact? We just went over the biggest record. Is there one specifically that stands out?
Maybe Lou Reed.
Okay.
The Velvet Underground, that first album with the banana on the cover, the Velvet Underground and Nico. That's almost a cliched, desert island disc, but it deserves to be a cliche. It deserves to be, in the pantheon because it's so ahead of its time and it's still timeless. And I've listened to it 1,000 times. And there are a lot of other records.
That's what I was getting at. You can listen to it 1,000 times and you're still into it, and it's still amazing, and you love it.
Like Dark Side of the Moon or the first Weezer album. There's, the aforementioned Let It Bleed by the Stones. There's lots of records I've listened to 1,000 times. But that record stands out as being way ahead of its time, and I hear so many modern bands that are like, man, you're really ripping off the Velvet Underground there, and I don't blame you. I've been in bands that ripped off, Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground, and that sound, be it indie rock bands or psychedelic bands or noise bands or punk bands. Not too many metal bands or country bands have ripped off. Actually, I take that back. The last Velvet Underground album, Loaded, had a lot of like Americana folk country twang to it as well.
Check it out for sure.
It's called Loaded, and it's loaded with hits. It's a great record.
Okay, awesome.
But I would say Lou Reed, the mastermind behind the Velvet Underground, and of course he had a nice solo career.
Right.
In the 70s and up until the 90s. That was pretty spectacular as well.
Yeah, awesome. So I heard something in your answer there, and I got to ask another follow-up. What instruments do you play?
I play drums more than anything. I can get by on guitar, bass, even more so.
Okay.
Keyboards not too much. I wish I knew more. I wish I were better skilled at playing a piano.
Okay. That's on my wish list.
But my default, the instrument that I've played in more than anything else in bands over the decades has been drums.
Drums. Okay. Yeah, I got a buddy that lives right around the corner here, and he's a phenomenal drummer too. So
cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So this one is this next question. What's your least favorite artist or band? Like what?
Officially?
Which one makes you like just you got to turn the station as soon as possible?
Well, my friends will, as some of you know, my answer is Phil Collins.
I can't blame you. You know, I mean, he's had a good run, and he's
Don't ask me why. He's a good musician, a talented drummer. Maybe I'm jealous.
Right.
He's a great drummer. He's a great
maybe.
singer.
Drummer's envy. Is that a thing? Drummer's envy? Is that
great songwriter, great drummer, great singer, great musician. He's a legend. Not in the Hall of Fame yet. I don't know why. He rubs me the wrong way. So what can I say?
Well, hey, you know,
sorry.
It's
sue me, Phil. One day Phil's going to walk in here.
It'll never happen. No.
Phil's going to walk in here one day and not going to say anything, and I'm going to probably have a heart attack.
Right. Well, and that's always when I ask my buddies that, it's kind of this controversial thing because everybody's got their favorites. My wife's least favorite is Rush. Anytime a Rush song comes on, she is turning it, and right. So I
I'm a drummer. You got it. If you're a drummer, you have to love Rush.
Exactly. Well, what was your first concert or show?
The Who.
Nice.
Biloxi, 1983. Keith, another great drummer, Keith Moon. That was my first show. I was not that young. I talked to a lot of people that, I saw AC/DC open for Skynyrd in 1978. When I was 14. But my parents, God bless them, were homebodies, and they would listen to Doris Day and pop country of the time. So I didn't go to my first show until I was 22 years old.
Right on.
So I was still a youngster, but it was the Who, and it was
awesome.
It was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I bet it was.
It was.
Yeah, I bet it was phenomenal. So as far as your collection, are you, and this is, everybody's kind of different on this, everybody's got differing opinions, some people are mixed. So are you an original pressing collector, a new vinyl collector, a blend?
A blend. I'm not a first press.
Okay, because some people are snobs like that.
There are, and that's fine. More power to them. No, I love reissues, and honestly, that's vast majority of the classic records I sell are reissues.
Right.
Used copies. I put out an original Captain Beefheart Trout Mask replica today, a legendary '60s record that's hard to find, an old copy. So, and it's kind of cool. I took a photo and put it on my Facebook page. So, used records are fine. I dig them, but usually when I do see a used record, it's a reissue. It's just an old 70s or 80s reissue. So even old records are probably just old reissues. So I'm not a snob when it comes to first presses.
Okay.
They're cool, but I love them all.
Right. So I'm kind of in the middle. I'm starting in my collecting journey, and right now my goal is to collect the first album of first pressing from my favorites. And then after I get the first pressing, original pressing, then I can consider getting reprints or represses and stuff. But that's,
like I said, we like what we like.
Right. But it's just the trick is, again, finding something that's affordable, that's that is in good condition, mint or excellent. I don't want anything that's in like good or subpar quality.
Well, I'm prepared to pay.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going for excellent mint, near mint.
Okay.
So. But
the fun is just beginning for you.
Right, it is, and I've got the bug. What more can I say, right? Good. So, what album is your most favorite one in your collection? Like, if your house was on fire, which album would you grab to run out the door?
Probably something sentimental, not necessarily valuable. Something sentimental. The Cramps. Psychedelic Jungle.
Okay.
The second record from the Cramps. Crazy, psychotic Elvis Presley, rockabilly meets weird 60s punk.
My interest is piqued.
Mishmash. They're great.
I'll have to go check this
band.
out.
They're no more. They were a 70s, 80s band. They're not anymore.
Okay.
It's such a great record. Their second record. It's my old record store boss called the Cramps. He called them Elvis Presley on some seriously messed up drugs. So there you go. Check out the Cramps. They're fantastic.
Oh god. Maybe they were on the drugs because of the Cramps.
Maybe.
All right.
Well, the lead guitarist was a woman, so.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm sure that had something to do with the naming of the band.
That is a great punk rock band.
Probably a rabbit trail we could chase in there, I'm sure. So, desert island scenario here. What's your top picks to take if you had to have just a couple to have on rotation? Handful.
Ooh, my answer will change tomorrow, but right now, Here Come the Warm Jets by Brian Eno, the aforementioned Velvet Underground, the Cramps, maybe that first Weezer record, the first Wu-Tang album.
Nice.
The soundtrack to Return of the Living Dead, Van Morrison, Moondance.
Gotcha.
Oh gosh. Anything by Galaxy 500? Anything from XTC, an old British power pop band.
Okay.
Maybe some King Crimson to round it out.
Okay, King Crimson. Yeah.
It's
for
an
sure.
old British prog band.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I love King Crimson.
Yeah, they tell epic stories in their songs. It's an adventure to listen to their albums.
Yes, it's a head trip.
Anything? Any last statements? What do you want to add here?
JJ, you've done a great job, but just keep buying records.
I will do that. I will buy
records.
his records actually.
Keep buying records.
Point here. This record store charges at or below the same prices as you will pay in any retail store on Amazon or anywhere. I've checked it. I've stood in here and I've checked his prices. They are at or below. I would strongly recommend that everyone, if you get the chance, when you visit Pensacola, come into Revolver Records. It's in a coffee shop too, so you get some coffee while you're here. Eric, I appreciate your time today.
My pleasure, Jay.
Thank you so much. There's some folks in here. Maybe they want to chit chat. I don't know. They've been waiting so patiently. So again, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us on another episode of the Vinyl Scally. This is Eric. He's the owner of Revolver Records.
Keep buying them.
I might be buying this album right here in just a few moments. So thank you again. Hope you join us next time. Thank you for joining us today. This was another great episode of the Vinyl Scally Show. My name is JJ. As always, this is Rowdy, my sidekick, my buddy. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notifications button, and that way every time we release a new video, you get notified. You're in the loop. Everybody wins. All right, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Say bye, Rowdy. Rowdy, say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Go get him. Go get him.